waistcoat of life is necessary. Passengers are informed that under each seat, behind their feet, wrapped yellow, there lies an example to be inflated by gently drawing on a collapsing table. The waistcoat of life doubles up like a floating device, once calm but quickly put upon. Passengers are requested to buckle and tighten before sliding off potential. So listen hard, belt up, and fear the worst safety. That's a poem written by feeding Ryanair safety instructions back and forth through translation software. I love the fact that waistcoat of life, is a life jacket. And I thought I'd stay with a sort of sartorial theme. I do love doing sort of collage poems and mashups of existing text. And this is taken from looking at some of the Guardian supplement pages where you have sort of 15, 20 photos and a little vignette for each one. So I tried to make some kind of poem out of this. The briefing. It will be the year hot water bottles went glam. Boxy and bright jackets will just make the edit. Some fire engine red, some twice double-breasted. Things will nearly go wrong more quickly than you can say we need to talk about Kevin. Luckily, the actor will follow his lead closely, busting out some floor-length tricks with a look made up partly of separates, adding no unnecessary fluff or jazzle. The combo to explore will be blue and chocolate. Gorge dresses will be launched in another Celineism. There'll be a smashing peacoat, which, unlike the bulk, does not feature the eagle icon. Classy decision will extend across the smart blazers too. Elsewhere, the line will be relaunched to older, very this-year crowds. People will exit galleries and go to the previous page. Arrows left and right, party-centric earrings to fall in love with, and Parkers getting a colour boost. Aside swirly whirlers, hints of lace at the neck, power oozing in the reek of 1980. The hottest word about town will be peplum. People won't feel the shoes, but it's a small quibble. Beeswax cotton hanging labels will fire on all cylinders, collaborating with interior blogger antique modern lounge chairs with stripes for forward reading. When the capsule collection of chokers hits the high, brooches of verve will glitz the one-off trunk with tucking. And finally, from this series, they often have sort of very sincere interviews in the Saturday supplement. I won't tell you who this was from after I read it. And bizarrely, Wendy Cope has a new collection, doesn't she, called Family Values, and this poem's called Family Values. I thought it would be this kind of crescendo moment, but it wasn't. We just ate overboiled vegetables, and my mother cried and cried. She hadn't realised the giblets were plastic bagged inside. I grew up hand to mouth, dancing on egg and chips in North Wales, but couldn't be more pleased how my children have turned out. My eldest is 19 and adored by everybody. She's very, very clever. Plans to be a particle physicist, regularly whoops about antimatter. The youngest wants to be a stand-up comedian or wigged barrister, has a natural talent for jokes and coming up with a pack of lies. I'll encourage them to do whatever they desire, but either way, they'll follow in my footsteps. They appreciate everything and expect nothing. Their grandfather was a big belly laugher. I laugh too. Asian families, Italian families do it. That's the norm. Our way was not the norm. I can still smell that chicken and cherish my foraged wishbone. Okay, I grew up in I didn't come from North London originally. I grew up in Cambridgeshire in a small village near the Suffolk border. And when you're not old enough for a paper round, you need to be quite entrepreneurial when it comes to earning some money. This one is called The Bins. They would offer us up free money. Their lemonade intestines were beautiful, and we grabbed at them, often with a knee up. They saw it all: fate, sports day, cricket, football. In beer barrel corsets fitted their chrome feet in long grass slippers. Had a makeover once a year, close shaved, from the man on the verge on the sit-on mower. cornetto gluttons, they ate tons, were riddled with one-liners. Once, overarm, they caught me, quenched, a jammy long shot, major fluke. 1 litre of clear glass was 2 ounces of aniseed. First, we'd check the swings. This is a poem that's in the anthology Urban Harvest. For philatelists among you, you may know what a perforation gauge is. This piece of plastic, when you collect stamps, to sort of measure the width between the perforations on the outside of the stamp. Vital piece of kit. The perforation gauge. I'd ask for pretty ones, and she'd indulge me slowly, flicking past admirals, ambulances, butterflies, and radically life-enhancing inventions, stroking sheets smooth, then separating squares, tearing phosphored rectangles with moon-massaged cuticles. Cartoon or commemorative, triangles were rare. She'd offer me tiny portraits with corsage and classic bust, occasionally without the diadem, but ribbons in her hair. Always a simple cameo and solid silhouette, like the day of the gold definitive when they unveiled her new head, announced second had gone up. At the window I'd licked 5 famous steam engines and measured equal spacing to ensure that first day's crucial cancellation. Before glancing up, stumbling across her profile, reaching unhinged for round-ended tweezers, magnifier, perforation gauge, keen to slide her behind a pocket in my stockbook front page, and behold the collectible, mint, shiny, unfranked. For those of you who studied French, probably everybody had to do Camus. It seems inescapable. People have told me since I read this poem. So, the teenage existential. Never take French A-level if you have to read Albert Camus, particularly if it's l'étranger, meaning the stranger, outsider, or foreigner. In case you get it into your precious head to learn by heart the odd quote or 3, to wow the examiner, so cleverly proceed, noting some down in biro on a small square of blank paper, stacked in a white plastic cube, normally given out for free to garages, offices, or shops, to advertise a garage, office, or shop with their compliments. But really meant for jotting day-to-day commercial purposes, such as jotting up totals for bulk orders of widgets which, like Merceau, we wonder if they really exist. Certainly not absurd quotations from a refusing existentialist pied noir, you're destined to be examined on in the module Fiction of the Individual and the Algerian War of Independence. Then darting off to a university, only to find yourself being dragged back repeatedly during vacations, which are no holiday, because halls are being used for conferences, so you cannot be. Then home with a degree, discovering your mother, handing you back a scrumple of yellowed scrawl she found while hoovering the junk room between the Valence and skirting board. No, not Valence, the town in the Drôme you don't yet know, 100 kilometres south of Lyon and home to the family of your future spouse, but the frilly purple curtain making your old bed look like a hovercraft across the channel and soaked up Merlot, and which happens to read, in our society, any man who doesn't cry at his own mother's funeral is liable to be condemned to death. And for your mother to admit she was quite upset 3 years ago, finding you wanted her dead. Anybody from Leicestershire? I think Ashby de la Zouch is in Leicestershire, if I'm correct. Okay. Yeah, I'm from Cambridgeshire, not Leicestershire, but this is my take on Ashby de la Zouch. I've never been there. They're a bit Belgian, maybe Breton. The townspeople mooch for hours until it begins. The summer sale on mini brakes in Asda lift shafts, dashing to trap index fingers in revolving doors. The men all choose to work at Deloitte and Touche. Drink Tizer on the rocks. Sundays compete in ouch-shouting contests. Carry shabby satin pouches full of cinders of papers perused. The women are chiselled. Wear smiles like snagged zips and la-di-da brooches lovingly confectioned from bashful cockroaches. The children, all called Zach or Zoe, are cashed in at 12, dropped off in lay-bys wearing whip-fitting shoes, spend their teenage years crouched over and bent, blowing oxygen onto the kindling of GCSE French. As such, unslovenly couples are quids in but don't touch much to avoid rashes. Hubbies walk grouchy pooches past the zoo. The missus collects vouchers for 3 minutes, redeemable Shrove Tuesdays for slouching in show homes on charcoal couches to watch the Sound of Music together on mute. Needle jump. Now what I want you to do is, think of a colour you. Now what? The first time you kissed someone, the first kissed someone, time you. Colour the first, where was it? Was it the first someone? Where, time you kissed? And your favourite teacher? Your favourite it, and you kissed, and favourite? What did they teach you? Did they teach you time, someone, and you? To do is think of colour and the first, your first teacher. What did you? To do want. Now what I want you of a colour. Think of a someone you kissed. Next exercise. This is the other poem that's in the anthology, Turkish Delight. I was teaching in Istanbul when I received a phone call and had to return home. Turkish Delight. What you do when you get the call is take it. Hear dawn words before they're mouthed. Should probably come now. What you do is shower and dress, skip coffee, yogurt and honey, baklava breakfast, walk briskly to the ticket office, hand over your sob story. Once given a seat today, not tomorrow because tomorrow is too late, what you do is pack, sit on a shell-shocked suitcase, poring over a tourist map, mentally cataloguing Byzantine cathedrals, until a 12-seater van for one pulls up to taxi you with stop-starts across the Bosphorus into Asia. What you do to kill an afternoon on a new continent at the international airport hub is browse boxes and briefs, visit the James Joyce Irish pub, mill about getting sprayed with testers of musk, citrus and bergamot, think nothing of spending €63.74 on different nut varieties of Turkish Delight, which is heavy and must be carried. Think nobody you know likes Turkish Delight, except him. But it's a token gesture, and simply meant for being ferried at speed when through and out the other end. What you do till they display your gate is stare out at a flapping star and crescent moon, count the seconds between runway ascents, promise one day you'll return to be consumed by the vastness of the Hagia Sophia. The do's and don'ts of ghosts. Ghosts like quiz shows, display good general knowledge, have a penchant for pineapple juice, dream of their own petrol pumps. Ghosts keep fun-sized Mars bars in the fridge in the plastic holes where eggs should be. They can't manage omelettes. Ghosts say things like can't be bad and mustn't grumble when things are bad and they'd love to grumble. Find solace in dirty caravans. Ghosts boast to being young once. Hyde Park Corner in under an hour if they put their foot down. A10, not M11. Ghosts can see sense in the common market but reckon things have gone too far. The funny money's no laughing matter. Ghosts are sticklers for whilst and amongst. Don't do double glazing on account of their breathing. Let Labradors lick their feet. Ghosts turn over if Kenny Everett comes on. Blast up the proms. Ghosts volunteer to go and get a Chinesey. Come home laden to other ghosts. And my last poem is poetry journals, I'm fascinated by the. I turn to the back immediately to see, see about poet's biography. I know some journals don't like including biographies because they see it's a bit superfluous to the poem. But this is a poem where I've tried to just reduce the biography to the essential. Notes on contributors. Alison was born. Brian grew up. Chloe is a full-time. Dan devotes his spare. Eliza took part. Fabian has been a member. Jill divides her. Henry is completing. Isabel was a stand-up Joel once sat on. Kirsten is currently. Lars was an inner city. Marion lives between. Nick is now. Olga was the first. Pablo continues to. Quinn chairs. River runs. Saskia often gives. Todd recently received. Uma submitted. Victor used to. Wendy was highly. Xavier appears often. Yolanda emphasises. Zach will be.